If you're an e-commerce brand owner, you need to watch this video until the end because I'm going to show you product page mistakes that are killing your conversion rate and your average order value. And we're going to look at two product pages here from Locked Up, one for a single product, which is their hot stimulant pre-workout. And the second product page here, it's a stack, which in this case, they're giving this name to bundles. So we're going to look at these two pages and see what mistakes are committing here that are killing their conversion rate and their average order value. So let's start first from the single product here. So the single product page. So in this case, there are a few errors immediately you can see above the fold. So here they have a YouTube breakdown for the product, which is very good as content in this case for this type of product. It's very, very good. But their placement of the video is very, very bad. So as you can see, this video here is taking up too much space above the fold to the point where if you scroll, it's covering up the add to carts and the CTA buttons here. So this is obviously a very, very bad placement for the video here. The video per se and the content and how we structured content, especially for a product in this case. So they're doing a very good job at producing high quality content for the product, but the placement here on the page is off. If you want to put these types of breakdown here, you have two options. Either you put them between the product images, which in this case, they're not bad at all. They're good. They could be using them a little bit better to show benefits and to make actually good product images. With good product images, I mean, not just showing the product, which in this case is just a jar like every other supplement on the market, but images that are actually informative, that educate the customer, that sell certain benefits at certain angles of the product, because you have seen supplements jars hundreds of times, so you don't need to see them anymore. The design can be as cool as you want, but if you don't have informative images and actually good images, you're basically wasting 50% of the above the fold, which as weight on the entire page is valued as 80% of the entire page. Because if you base yourself on the 80-20 rule, 100% of your visitors are going to see your above the fold. And if you don't utilize that space properly, you are losing out on a lot of conversions on a higher average order value. So first mistake here, that video and that placement was bad. As you can see here, it pops up even randomly sometimes. So that right now it popped up again, but it's a little bit bugged. So a better placement for the breakdown. Put it here between the images and make the images good, like I mentioned before, or just put it down exactly like they're doing right now in between the info, but don't put it at the top, especially in that bad placement right there, where it covers important information and the call to actions above the fold. But okay, let's follow forward and see what other mistakes they're committing. So in this case, they have a very weird placement for the description. So obviously information needs to be there on your product page and it needs to be good. But if you're going to put information on the page, I would suggest doing it in between the images and the actual call to actions, and doing it in little pieces of information and then expanding on it on the rest of the page, but not putting it here above the images, immediately under the headline and before the call to action, because it's just a strange placement. So people that buy products DTC are not used to this kind of layout here, and it could throw some people off. So I would suggest moving this description here with the read more button somewhere here in between the buy box and the images. So I would say here, for example, and this length here of the description is not bad. I would structure it a little bit better. I've seen hundreds upon hundreds of the heat map recordings for product pages and every other type of DTC page you can think of. And walls of text like this perform very, very badly. Most of the people completely skip them. They don't even read anything. They may read the first time and then they just skip over them. No one wants to read the information that is there, especially if it's structured this way. So it's structured in a very much simpler checklist or step-by-step thing. It would read up much better, much easily digestible. So that would be much better from a readability and usability point of view. So we would free up the space above the fold here, have the headline, have the images, that those are good, or even move the headline down here. But yeah, images maybe right now are taking up too much space. Then another thing they are doing here is that they have these icons right here under the product image itself, but they do not have any context at all connected to them. So obviously having random information or random visuals like these doesn't really help a lot in the grand scheme of things, but they can do a very good thing here, which is actually using these these icons here in the images themselves and pair them with information, it would be much better for conversion. So that's about it for the above the fold. There's a lot of work that can be done here to optimize for conversions for average order value here, but that's about it for above the fold. And also the reviews, they're very good. The placement is not bad, how the structure is good, so not a lot about that. But here we go with the flavor selector here. So they have a good flavor selector with something visual like this. So for example, strawberry, lime, blue, cotton candy, and stuff like that. I would actually much rather have a little bit of visuals in here related to the flavor. So they're doing a good job of not having these separated. So a lot of brands that get these wrong, basically they just separate the same product in N different products for as many flavors as they have. And this is always performed worse than having all of them just under a single SKU with the flavor selector in all of the tests that I've ran until now. So they're doing good on that, but I would make this flavor selector much more visual, just like More Place More Dates brand is doing it. They're doing very good, and their product pages are very optimized. So that's the first example that came to mind. They're doing very well on that side. But yeah, I would much rather have a more visual selector here, not just a simple list. But let's go forward here with they have the quantity buttons, maybe taking up too much space. There's not really a need for having like the quantity text and then taking a full line for all of it, but just a minor inconvenience, not something huge. But then let's go forward to the call to action. So here we have two different call to actions. We have the buy now and we have the add to cart. So my thought on the two call to actions here and how they are placed is a little bit mixed. So it seems like they're trying to push more for the buy now call to action, since it's the one that has the brighter coral accent, since the buy now is blue and the add to cart is black. But it is strange, since they have a lot of SKUs. I don't see why they would want to go for a brighter buy now button and a more easily visible buy now button than an add to cart button. Wouldn't it be better and convert and have higher AOV for sure to have the add to cart button be the main call to action here? And right now I'm just guessing, since this is stuff that we test, and we've tested stuff like this countless time for many different 7- and 8-figure brands at CROEvolution. But I'm just asking here, wouldn't it be better to showcase a little bit higher the add to cart here, make it the main call to action, and just having like two call to actions placed like this, one near the other? There's just something weird about it. When you're a visitor that's coming from another outside or cold traffic, and you see two different call to actions like these, a lot of people get decision fatigue. So stuff like this needs to be tested to see what performs better, what converts better, and what has higher AOV. But yeah, I would for sure test something like this, and it's a very easy test. It's something like you can set up in maybe an hour or two to just show one or the other call to action and see what performs better. So very simple split test they could run there. Then let's cross forward beyond the above the fold, which needs a lot of work here from what I'm seeing right now. Let's scroll down and see what's happening right under. So as you can see, the video keeps bugging here, in and out of sight. So there's definitely some work that needs to be done there. But let's look at the information they have. So here they expand a little bit more on the benefit stack, which they have the icons for here on the top. This is not really useful the way it's structured right now. I would much rather have this information here directly embedded in the product images right here to perform much better. That's basically for sure here. I'm 99% sure this will perform better if they made better product images with the information they have down here with the icons. But then scrolling down towards the information section for the product, and you can just see this is just a big wall of text. So they have multiple sections. So first is the formula. So something like the formula, obviously for supplements, is very is essential. You need to have the formula there. So you can kind of see why they've structured it like this. There's much better ways and much more visually appealing, interesting way to showcase this kind of information, because I assure you, no one is going to read this or any of this stuff. They're just going to skim through and see the main highlighted ingredients here. There are ways of making this more informative and helpful to the visitors and to the customers. So, but for the rest of information on this page, so description, wall of text, wall of text here, recommended use, you have a section very down over the page, something that's very as important as the recommended uses and how to use the product. I would expect it much further high the page and not here for sure. Then how to stack, they also have links for the other products. This is something that's very good, but there's like 100 different ways you can structure this much better, as in the form of upsells, for example, or cross-sells or bundles, which they are doing, we are going to see the bundle page here after this one, but they're not doing it directly on the single product page, which is very bad. Like if obviously they are suggesting how to stack supplements, which is something like most people that use supplements do, stack multiple supplements one on top of the other. They would structure this in a perfect way and in a much higher converting way if they made upsells and direct bundles on here. So easy call to action buttons that would directly add all of the stack over there, or just add the single products themselves with the main product you're looking at. So they're losing quite a lot of AOV here by not doing that. But all of the information here is just walls of text and nothing really visual that engages the user or the customer. Because if someone is going to scroll past there above the fold, and as I mentioned before, 80-20 rule applies here too, not a lot of people are going to scroll past your above the fold. And if your above the fold is bad, you're lost the conversion because they are going to bounce off for sure. But if someone scrolls past that, so it means you've made a good job at actually making the product interesting and something they might consider buying. You need to have good information and good education for the customer that supports that decision in their head. And this does not cut it. Having walls of text like these, no one reads this. As I mentioned before, I've looked at the data, I've looked at the heat maps. No one reads all of this text right here. No one does it. So there's a lot of work that can be done here to structure this information and this education much better. And it would help a lot with converting and with having higher AOV. Let's scroll down again. I think they have their ratings here, so that there's not a lot to look at here anymore. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff for sure that can be done on this product page. If we went and took over this for them, there's at least like 12 to 15 split tests off the top of my head right now that I can think of running on this page to make it much better. So there's definitely work that can be done here. But let's look right now at the bundle page. So they're obviously running bundles, which is a very, very obviously good idea for any brand in general, but especially for supplement brands, because you can structure them in many different ways. For example, in stacks in this case. So they have that same weird above the fold selection. So we're not going to go over that again. But let's scroll forward to the buy box here. So when you're going to structure bundles, you want to make it as easy and as like the main goal obviously of product pages is that you want to make it as stupid and as easy as possible to just click on the add to cart button and to get people to check out. That's just your goal there. So here, for example, with the stack, they have 5 different selectors here, and every one of them has a lot of different options, and you can even select the options without going through the first option first. So what happens when you do something like this is you just add a lot, too much decision fatigue to people that are scrolling on these pages for no reason at all. It should be easy to add bundles to your cart. You want to get people to add bundles and then think after about all of this stuff. You just want to get that click first. So obviously here for the pre-workout, they obviously have many different flavors, and also some of them are also higher priced, which is something you probably want to mention a little bit better when something is higher priced than just a normal flavor. So they have like kind of normal flavors here, and then they have kind of like premium flavors that cost more. So kind of a strange selection here to have all of those mixed up, and they are just too much to be all rammed in here in a simple wrist. This is not good at all. But let's just go through all of the buy box to see what happens here. So if you go through all of that selection, then you need to go to another selection to select all of the BCAAs here. You need to click something to go forward again to reach the proteins, which again is a big selector with, again, premium options mixed with the default options here. They need to go select something here. You need to go through the shakers and select something here again. You need to go through the, I don't know what the Pump Apocalypse is, but it's another product of theirs, and it's this one is even optional, so you don't have, like, this is not included in the bundle. If you're going to include it in the bundle, you're going to get a higher price for sure, since all of these are priced separately. So this is a very, very weird way to do bundles and sucks on your product page. I'm sure this is not helping with conversions. This would probably be structured much, much better. And also having like price ranges in here doesn't really help from a like contextual and informational perspective. People don't know what they're getting for which prices. It's very, very confusing to have it structured this way. Something that you want to go by whenever you're structuring anything that's related to your brand. So whether it be product pages, external landers, your homepage, your cart, anything at all, you want to make it as simple as possible to just take that step forward that gets them closer and closer to checkout. That's the goal. So if you make stuff complicated like this, you basically reduce your chances of someone actually reaching checkout and buying from you. Why would you do that to yourself? There's no need for that. So make it as easy as possible for the customer and for people going through your store and anything related to your brand to just take that next step and go to your checkout. And then let's go forward with the description information here, but I think they're going to just structure it like their other page. So probably not a lot to see here. I think it's even worse than the other page, because here is just text stacked on top of the other that just scrolls down to infinity. So a lot of work that can be done here for sure as the other page. So yeah, definitely between these two pages, there are at least 20 to 25 split tests they can run. And I can just mention them right now, just going through the pages. So first of all, that checkout test, something that for sure I would test here as first. It would be a very simple, very simple change to set up. Then the product images, how they structure the information for here for sure. The bundle stuff, having like direct and simple upsells, cross-sells, and bundles here for sure. Then the structure above the fold and the layout, that's for sure something you can also test. So there are a few tests there. Then here, the price ranges are not good. I would try and make this much simpler than it currently is. So making the buy box simpler, adding the optional stuff as separate and making it clear that they're optional, but with something that's much more purpose focused than just placing the selector there and the list there. Obviously here also product images, making it a little much more benefit oriented and stuff like that. The layout here for sure, and all of the information under the fold here needs also to be restructured. So yeah, for sure there are a lot of work that can be done, and I'm sure if we took over bucked up pages like here, we could increase conversions and AOV by quite a lot. If some of these mistakes I just mentioned are on your product page, you need to start immediately split testing and seeing what is hurting your conversion rate and average order value. We've done this for countless DTC brands above 7 and 8 figures, and we can do this for you too. So you can book a call in the first link I have in the description and talk to you soon.